With this, I would say we can actually kick it off with our first session about open innovation. Philip, we already know each other 8 years. You were, let's say, more on my client side. Now you're my boss. So maybe you wanted to kick it off with our open innovation keynote. And don't forget your pointer.
Thank you, Hannah. And also welcome from my side. I have the pleasure to not give a fireside chat with myself, but to give you some insights on open innovation best practices, which I derived out of the last 15 years or 17 years working with startups, both as a client, being with Mercedes for many, many years. And if you remember Markus Schäfer's slide when he mentioned like so many hundred projects, a big portion of that was already also done under my supervision. So this was my former life, but now I'm super happy partner at Plug and Play and help all clients cross industry, and that's also the reason I'm here today, with their corporate innovation strategy, with their setup, their processes, and also with tailoring Plug and Play services so that they best fit to the innovation ambition. And many things can be executed successfully, but even more can go wrong. And today we will put the finger a little bit into the wounds that can go wrong, but also with the idea of sharing best practices on how to avoid those dead ends. So, technology. Yeah. So first of all, some sad faces. This is a picture I shared in the workshop in the morning already. Quick introduction. Super quick, yeah? We all know Gordon Moore. Gordon Moore said the world is changing when it comes to technology. This is, I think, a common ground. What's not so common, it will never be this slow again, so it will be faster and faster and faster in the future. So this is the one thing we should keep in mind. And then innovation. What is innovation by definition? It's something new that's adopted. So this is also change. And innovation is the answer from companies to the change that happens in the world. So hence, we need to be more innovative if we want to survive, if we want to compete in nowadays environment. And open innovation, meaning that a company collaborates in a certain way with externals, is the big promise right now. You can go farther, you can be cheaper, and you can be faster when you collaborate in a smart way with external partners. And no wonder 90% of big companies nowadays do open innovation in some way, be it as a CVC or venture client, venture building with external help, etc., etc. But, and maybe some of you realize that as well, not all of them are very successful doing it. And this is because open innovation and innovation is difficult, it's challenging. And I want to dig deeper a little bit in the general challenges and how to overcome them. But first, let's quickly share, let me quickly explain you guys the so-called innovator's dilemma. Or check, who knows the innovator's dilemma? Who wants to come on stage pitching it for 30 seconds? The innovator's dilemma, you all know the core competence of a company, yeah? This is where you're really good at. You build the core competence, yeah? This is a technology, a use case, something you're really good at, either as a cost leader or you have a certain superior service to your clients. The problem is, the better you are and the more time you invest in, the more challenging is it for you to invest into something new, because this is your cash cow. This is where you're really good at. Being the inventor of the combustion engine means something, and especially if you earn hundreds of billions over a course of the years. So identifying the right moment in time to invest into a new opportunity that is not as mature as your current core competence, while you're still doing very good at where you currently are. That's all what innovation is all about. And this is the reason many innovation managers come to us and say, hey, they don't listen to me. They say, no, it's not ready yet. We are still doing good. There's no need to change. Yeah? But when they are here, it's obvious, but also it's too late. This is the reason many companies at the end struggle. So this was the innovator's dilemma. Check it up. It's a cool concept. More importantly, there are things you can work on as innovation managers, as being a C-suite, as a CTO, to at least mitigate the risk of losing like the right moment, of missing the right moment to change. And by the way, this is not only like the major things. This is like a little process in your production, some logistic concepts up to obviously your like main revenue streams. This happens everywhere, and we're talking about hundreds, if not thousands, of S-curve/core competences in your company. What you can do is not only think about your corporate strategy, but also think about your innovation strategy, innovation vision, long-term, mid-term, short-term. Have the right capabilities in place. Do you have a governance model for innovation that fits your innovation ambition? Do you have the processes when it comes to open innovation that match the speed of a startup? For example, a startup can build a new prototype theoretically in a couple of days. But what if your procurement team needs 3 months in order to get approval to buy actually this kind of prototype? So this is not working. But if you, as a company, can match the speed of a startup in the early phase, then you can speed up your intelligence, and instead of doing like 2 or 3 projects a year with the same resources, you can do 30, 40 projects a year, hence be more risk-taking because it's lower investment. And last but not least, culture. In order to be innovative, you have to work a lot on your company culture. And this is very important because a company culture usually goes in a complete opposite direction. The moment you have a core competence and you are successful at the market, what happens? You want to defend it. You want to maintain the core competence. This means quality, zero failure tolerance, etc. They're very, very good attributes. And I don't tell you to stop it. You have to keep that for your core competence. But simultaneously, have a safe space, have an environment when it comes to innovation that is risk and the trial and error, where failure is part of the game. And that's all. That's really relevant when it comes to innovation. You need to have a working failure culture. This is essential for the innovation culture and then for the growth mindset. Only if your colleagues feel safe to start, to try to jump, when they still don't know whether it's the right moment, when they still don't know where to land, then you have the possibility to actually be innovative and be at the forefront. And the more ambitious you are with your innovation, the more relevant those topics are. This is a quick differentiation of innovation projects. And one insight is you should focus on all of them. We say that there's like 3 horizons when it comes to innovation. Horizon 1 being are the innovation projects that are more very close to classical R&D projects. You know the technology, you know the use case, hence there's very less uncertainty. And also the likelihood of success is pretty high. So invest the majority of your efforts in those projects. They build trust and credibility in innovation. The other extreme is Horizon 3. New technology and new market, use case, customer, way of like engaging with your clients. This is what we call disruptive, transformative. This is the jump from one S-curve to the other. Very risky. You need a long breath. You need usually quite a lot of resources. You need to do it at one point in time, but you need to be very careful, especially in the early phase of such projects, because you don't know whether they are successful or not. But rule of thumb: invest 10% of your resources in those kind of projects. Rule of thumb. And in order to prepare for the big jump, there are so-called Horizon 2 projects. They have either a new tech or a new use case, but they usually help as a stepping stone towards the Horizon 3. Imagine Horizon 3 is robo-taxi. It's a concept for 15 years already. And this is a Horizon 3 ambition. Horizon 2 projects is Uber when it comes to the use case, and it's advanced driving system when it comes to technology. Once you combine, you have the Horizon 3. So this is the strategy. The second is the capability. Just one insight. What we see nowadays a lot is that people start to have a venture client unit, or they have an M&A unit, or they open up a venture building unit. The thing is, they don't have it in one place, they have it in various places, or they just have one unit. And in Germany, there's a saying: if you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So if a venture client unit, everything looks like a POC kind of project. If you have a CVC, you want to invest into everything that looks interesting. Like I'm doing black and white here. But you should be very aware of like not only choosing the right projects, but also choosing the right way on how to innovate. As just one example. Next quick insight is governance model. I mentioned Horizon 1, 2, 3. If you have a decentralized governance model when it comes to innovation, you can expect a lot of Horizon 1, not a single Horizon 3 projects, because the decentralized mode is like innovation works in business units, and they think for their business only. This is their job. So don't expect something disruptive coming from them. Extreme opposite, if you have centralized innovation unit, you cannot expect Horizon 1 projects because you don't have the proximity to the market. So the system you have defines the output for innovation. And the last point is the culture. And here the one quick insight I want to share is that failure is not created equally. You have to think of failures based on where they come from. They are so-called blameworthy failures, and most of us think in this area when they think about failures. This is like lack of ability, process inadequacy, and stuff like that. We should avoid this at all. But failure is part of the game, the so-called innovation zone, when it comes of simply like conquering the uncertain area, exploratory testing, hypothesis testing, process complexity. You don't know where you land. So the first thing you have to ensure in your company is that we think of failure in a more differentiated way. This is my last, I think I'm closing soon. For this, we fly away from Germany, from Stuttgart, because we talk about failure a little bit more precisely. And I love Star Wars. And this is the reason we go to the Death Star. And look to the Death Star from an innovation perspective. And what we see is a super innovative product. Yeah, the Empire built this many years of development, capable of destroying stars. Yeah? I think from a engineering standpoint, wow, very impressive. But you know what happened? Luke Skywalker, X-Wing, trust the Force. He destroyed Death Star with one single, I think, a proton bomb. Okay, long story short, you can imagine what happened behind the scenes after this ultimate failure. No feedback and failure culture, just a blame game. Whose fault was it? And what was the consequence? 3 series later, they built Death Star 2. It was slightly bigger and there was like a little shield in it. But again, what happened? Han Solo, Millennium Falcon, they destroyed it again at the end. Long story short, if you don't focus on what goes wrong, nothing innovative will come out next, because the Empire was a huge company. They were market leader in every aspect. They were dominating the galaxy, but they are not able to learn about their failures, and this was resulting at the end in them losing the game. I want to close with a little overview of how we help you not to become the next Empire in your industry, but to learn from your failures, build innovation strategy, define the relevant processes when it comes to your innovation, and also leverage the plug-and-play ecosystem when it comes to venture building, venture clienting, and venture capital. We are happy to support you, cross-industry, cross-office. Let's connect and enjoy the next upcoming speaker that Hannah introduced to us in a second. Thank you.